All right, hello, and welcome back to another edition of Afternoon Drive here on Joppa Radio. My name is Drew Moholland. Hope you're all having a good day out there. It's a Tuesday. We do have one little programming note for you. The usual Tuesday, Thursday format change show system here is going to change a little bit for Thursday. No show Thursday. I have some stuff going on with me, so Thursday is going to be an off day for us. I know Tyler's very disappointed in that. Tyler's producing in today. Tyler Neufeld doing the radio side. But again, no show Thursday. I'll say that a couple times here as we go. But we'll be off Thursday and then back here next Tuesday. And then we kind of pick up a lot of steam because the fall sports are off and rolling. The kids are back at school. And there seems to just be a lot more people around, especially at this time of day. 3 o'clock is always a prime time in the fall to get a lot of people. So again, no show this coming Thursday. We'll be back with you next Tuesday. Little programming note, don't forget you can follow Afternoon Drive here on Twitter at Joppa Afternoons, Joppa Afternoons on Twitter. Always a good way to stay interactive with the show. And we take questions during the show, whatever you feel to stay interactive. We like all that stuff. And hello again to everybody streaming on the YouTube and watching on Port TV as well. David Kramer producing for the TV side today, so thank you, David. A lot going on in the world. It is I just heard we're gonna have some rain tomorrow, Wednesday, and then it's gonna be a very nice stretch here through the weekend, so it's gonna get hot. And I don't know, we've had some nights that have kind of felt like fall here the last couple nights, and I guess it's gonna be back to summer. So stay cool here over the weekend, because I will not be seeing you come Thursday. And of course, it's a big weekend for the Red Sox. They're at home versus the Indians. Terry Francona and the boys are back. A good series. It could be a playoff preview. Sox lost a tough one last night. They play again tonight. I know Price gets the ball tomorrow. Blanking on who's pitching tonight. But Sox and Indians, I know, tonight over at Fenway Park. And a lot going on, actually, in the news circles today. I just saw a little bit of a plane trouble. This rapper, I'm going to show my age here, but I don't know, Tyler, do you know this guy, Post Malone?
Oh, yeah.
You're familiar with Post Malone? Apparently, he played with Aerosmith last night at the Video Music Awards, and so a little Boston flavor there for you. But Post Malone having some problems in the air right now. His plane was rediverted to. He's trying to land right now in Western New York, some airport named Windsor. I guess they blew a tire and possibly 2 tires on their takeoff, so they've been dropping fuel. So a little bit of a scare for Post Malone and 16 people on board circling around trying to land in Western New York. So, these things tend to be okay. These pilots are very well trained, and the dropping of fuel tends to be a precaution just in case anything happens on the ground. But usually they can land these things with, I've seen it done with 2 wheels and I think even 1 wheel, but I'm not sure how big this plane is. But hopefully that works out okay. I'll keep an eye on that as we go. But I was just listening to an expert on the radio talk about he's in good hands with the pilot. So hopefully that all works out okay out there in Western New York. But Post Malone, is he a bit huge act?
Yeah, he's a pretty big guy.
Tyler says he's a very big act, so I should really know that. But he has like tattoos on his face and stuff too. That's not a common thing.
It's more common now.
More common now. Okay, see, I don't know these things. Tyler's informing me. Maybe we'll talk more about this later, Tyler. but we'll keep an eye on that as we go. Again, this is Afternoon Drive on Joppa Radio. We do the show every Tuesday and Thursday from 3 to 4, except for this Thursday. Once again, little programming note there. All right, so when we get back, I'm going to bring in Bob Van Eden. He's the new Triton volleyball coach, a sport that is just absolutely exploding. I have some players in my family at the high school level who, I don't know, I think the coach might be saying in the years to come, but he's hired this year, new Triton coach. I'm just meeting him right now, so what we're going to do is take our first little quick break right now. We'll be right back with more with the coach. We'll talk some volleyball, we'll talk some fall sports, and we'll see where the conversation takes us. So we'll do that when we get back. Again, my name is Drew Moholland, and this is Afternoon Drive on Joppa Radio. All right, welcome back to Afternoon Drive here on Joppa Radio. My name is Drew Moholland. A happy Tuesday, the 21st of August. Where did August go, by the way? Summer is the fastest season around in this neck of the woods, but I know that doesn't surprise you, but Labor Day is just about here. I can't believe it. But we have a great first guest on hand here today, Bob Van Etten. We have I have not met him before. These are always fun for me when a completely new person and first-time guest on the show. Bob, how are you? Good to have you on board here.
Doing great. Thank you, Drew.
I got your attention in two different ways there in my open. One, you're the son of a pilot, you said, so you're listening to the story here about, what's the rapper's name again?
Post Malone.
Thank you. Post Malone. So you're son of a pilot, so you have, you were just saying, they'll get that plane down. You've seen these stories before, but what's it like being the son of a pilot? Let me start there, completely out of left field.
A lot of fun. You know, did a lot of trips with them as a kid. And,
grab that mic just a little closer to your voice, will you? Sorry about that. Yeah, there
I
you
did
go.
a lot of trips with him as a kid.
That must have been cool.
So, yeah, it was back in the day. You know, he retired in 1970. So
Okay.
So I was born in 57. So we're looking at 57 to 70. Pretty much a young kid, but a lot of fun.
No fear of flying from you then after that?
No.
Small planes or big planes?
Big planes, L-1011s.
Wow.
Before that, Boeing 707s.
That's pretty crazy. That's good. So yeah, you've I'm sure you've heard all the stories. Do he ever tell you any stories about close calls or anything?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Some that I can't even repeat on the radio, actually, because he was part of the investigative committee.
Oh, okay.
So I learned some of the alien stuff. But,
Gotcha.
Yeah, he himself did a foam belly landing at one time, so that was
Wow.
interesting.
Did he tell you where?
No, just that I was a little kid at the time.
Wow.
He just said, "Don't worry about anything." He says, "If the wheels don't come down, we can put the plane down."
Really? So you don't even need wheels?
No, as a matter of fact, when he wanted to get qualified on the L-1011s out in Kansas City, you had to go to be qualified. And the planes will actually land themselves on any airport in the world by computer. And in order to be able to be qualified on that plane, you had to let it do it, which was the hardest thing he'd ever done because he wants to be at the controls, but he had to just sit there and program it and let the plane land itself.
No kidding.
So all these planes are really, really safe now. Yeah.
That's unbelievable, and it does take a certain. I don't know what your father's personality was, but it takes a certain kind of person to be a pilot, doesn't it? Like the calm, the.
All the people that were peers with him, that were
Yeah.
his age that I met, they're all just, they're locked in, ice water in their veins.
Yeah.
Very chill. Yeah, nothing rattles them.
Unbelievable. So yeah, again, we were just checking too. We'll keep an eye on that as we go because we'll make sure. I know there's a lot of Post Malone fans out there, even though I don't know him. You're saying your son's very into the rap music too, and you go to shows with him and stuff sometimes. And
Yeah.
but you actually don't know him either. So I'm feeling a little bit better about that right now. Tyler's looking at me like I'm officially in a different age bracket now, but it's okay. Yeah, thank you, Tyler. Appreciate that. So we'll keep an eye on that as we go. But yeah, actually, it's funny. One other thing on the pilot, we had a pilot from a small plane up in Beverly, a friend of mine who I actually met at the dog park, and I called him the most interesting man in the world. And his name's Steven, but long story short, he was telling me, I have a couple close calls too. I can't tell you all of them, but he's like, sometimes things happen up there. But he's like, the one thing is, I actually am scared of heights. I don't like heights. But I do. This is a pilot. But he goes, if I am in control of the airplane, I feel perfectly fine. I don't necessarily.
Makes sense.
If I'm in the back seat behind somebody in a small airplane, I don't enjoy it. But I do. I'm okay if I'm in control. So interesting there when it comes to nerves of steel, right? I don't know. Anyways, so Bob Van Etten, the new volleyball coach at Triton, very new. When were you hired?
Couple weeks ago.
Couple weeks ago. Very fresh for you.
Yeah, fresh.
I asked you, we were talking about how this is simulcasted on TV, and again, hello everybody. But I was saying, most coaches, if you got some team gear or anything, or you want to wear a logo, and he goes, don't even have that yet. so I thought that was pretty funny. Very freshly hired, and it must be very exciting though.
Oh, definitely. Dream job.
Dream job. Fantastic.
Dream job. Yeah.
What this sport is, I was just talking about it at a family cookout last weekend. My niece is playing for Danvers, and numbers are like through the roof. People are just loving playing this, and now it seems like most high schools are either have it or at least in the process of getting it. Volleyball is really exploding on the scene right now.
Especially for girls, and it has been for some time. The guys are coming around now, too. You're seeing a lot more boys high school volleyball than you used to in the past. When I was a kid, it wasn't there.
Yeah, me neither,
Non-existent.
really. I mean, even
It was Y leagues.
Yes.
Men's Y leagues is the
Yes.
only place. I started playing in those when I was 15. So I've
Okay.
been playing for about 45 years.
Now, what's the background? Is it just a game you've always loved, or?
You know, I was a big tennis player when I was a kid.
Yep.
And tennis and volleyball, like I always tell anybody, if you already play tennis, come out for volleyball. Because they're two different seasons, and anybody who plays tennis, I can teach to play volleyball.
Really?
The spike's the same, the serve receives the same. Yeah.
So actually-
the two sports correlate very well.
More the motion than anything else? Is that why you see that correlation?
The spiking motion is identical.
Yeah.
And even the way you arch your back and cock your arm, everything, throw the hand up, it's all identical. And as far as serve receive goes, you got to have loose feet, you got to be on the balls of your feet, and you got to be moving side to side, and you got to be ready to go wherever that ball goes.
Yep.
The only thing difference is you're using your arms instead of a racket.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're-
Net presence, all that stuff.
yeah, no, they vary. So if there's any Triton tennis players that want to come out for volleyball, we have room. Come on out.
Let the recruiting begin. Yes.
Exactly.
We had a Newburyport. Just I don't know who had the team. How long has Triton had a team? Do you know?
I think they said 5 seasons.
So
I don't
that's-
know if this is the 5th or 6th, but I think around 5 seasons.
So that's a little more than Newburyport, because I know the girl that helped start the Newburyport team is still, I think, a junior this year. And long story short, we had her on, and she was saying, she pitched it to the athletic director at Newburyport, and he said, if you can get the numbers, then, you get a sheet, sign a bunch of names, show that there's interest, we can see if we can make it happen.
Right.
And they got like some ridiculous amount of number, like 80 people like signing up wanting to play, and they couldn't believe it here in Newburyport. So I don't know if that's the story at Triton.
I can teach anyone how to play volleyball in an afternoon.
Wow.
So if there's anybody out there that's athletic that wants to learn how to play volleyball, again, come to the trial.
Trying to steal people off some of these other fall
No,
teams.
no, I don't want to take anybody from any other programs, but if you don't play a fall sport and you're athletic and you
There
want to
you go.
learn one, I can teach you in very short order how to play volleyball.
Very good. All right. So there you go. Bob Van Etten making the call to the 3 communities that make up Triton. So there you go. It is a great game. I mean, I always say I never had the option to play in high school. I was only a 2005 graduate at Danvers High. We never had it. A lot of the schools around us didn't have it. Now, of course, it is in Danvers, and now, of course, it seems to be everywhere else. But I mean, we used to play all the time at cookouts and everything. My guys used to love it. We would, have real battles out there for 4 hours. Go grab a burger and then come back out and play some more. So I mean, it is a great game. It's something you can always play, and you just need a backyard with some room, right? And a net.
Well, it was a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
Play it when you get older, too.
Yeah, that's another good one. Yeah. Well, you're not that old. Come on. What's the? Do you still play?
Yeah.
You get out to? Is it at the? You mentioned Y's earlier. Is that the local Y, or how many leagues are out there right now for adults?
There's a men's Yankee volleyball league where players get rated, and you might go to a C+ tournament or a B-
So
B-
that's
tournament or an A tournament,
tennis
depending on
scales,
what your
kinda.
level is.
Okay.
Yeah. And you just have to get a group of guys together, and you can be 2 grades above. So you could have 2. If you're a C+ tournament, you could have a B- player on your team, 2 B- players, but then the rest would have to be C+.
Wow. Well, that's pretty intense.
Yeah.
I like that.
No, it's a lot of fun.
Pretty serious stuff out there.
Yeah, I mean, if you think somebody's dogging it and they're really an A player and they're rating themselves at a B+, you can ask the ref. They'll look at him and they'll upgrade him if they think he needs upgrading. But,
Interesting. Very good. Well, that's very exciting. It's funny. It's like a golfer's handicap. I think you're a little better than that, my friend.
exactly.
Again, we're joined here by Bob Van Etten. He's the new volleyball coach over at Triton. Any coaching? I mean, it seems like you got the teaching in your blood. Any actual team coaching experience out of you?
Well, my men's team I always coached. I coached the Bay State games 4 of the 5 times I played in the Bay State games. I was
nice.
also the coach.
That's a great experience. The Bay State
I
games,
loved
huh?
it. I played in the 30 and over team till I was 48 years old.
Wow,
It was the
really?
last year I played. And no, I love it. I love volleyball. And then I coached at Gordon College for 15 years.
Oh, wow.
I was a full-time assistant there for 3 years, 92, 3, and 4.
Oh, no kidding.
And then I stayed after because really what I do best is skill build. So they have a lot of players that are coming in that either don't have a lot of skills or want to learn a new skill. And I would go by 1 or 2 nights a week for the last 12 years just to skill build and teach people how to do different things.
So you're getting a lot of so that's why you should definitely, if you do not have a fall sport, there you go. You get some real personalized teaching ahead of you here. This could be a really good thing, especially if you what's like the perfect. You get like a basketball team. You need a mix. You need the point guard who can handle. You need the big guy down low that can rebound.
Setter.
Setter.
Setter's the quarterback.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, because the setter's dishing the ball to everybody. So the setter has to look at how the defense is developed, who's the stronger player across the net. Is the set a good pass? Can I go anywhere with it? Do they think I'm going middle because I've got a perfect pass? So maybe I should throw it back because that's a weak player on their team.
Literally like a
so
look-off. Yeah.
Setter is really thinking constantly. Are they going to dump the ball on 2 over in the middle of their court?
Okay.
So they're not ready for that. So
Pretty much in the middle? Is the setter kind of set up in the middle?
Setter will
float or?
I usually play a 5-1, which is the setters going around the whole court.
Okay.
So when they're coming from the back row, they can also hit. I mean, can't hit. When they're in the front row, they can hit.
Okay.
So, but they're always trying to fit themselves in just to the right of the middle player.
Okay.
And that's where they want the pass to come. So then they can go back, front, or right in front of them with the middle. But they're always trying to look at the defense, see what they're doing, and figure out where's the best place to set this ball to get a point.
Absolutely. All right. I remember one of the more intense volleyball, this is, don't laugh at me, but one of the more intense backyard volleyball games I ever had. One of the dads was playing, and he was a very athletic guy, screamed every time the ball went over the net, use all 3 touches. Is that necessary? Should you always be using all 3? For those of you who don't know volleyball,
95% of the time, yes.
Use
it
all
would
3,
behoove
okay.
you to use all 3.
Right.
But you want to keep them honest too, so you want to go on 2. And if you have a left-handed setter, that's like nirvana, because now they're going up and that's their power side. They can literally look like they're going to set the ball and just crank on it.
Gotcha.
So if it's a tight ball that's going to be hard to set, they can just go up and hit it.
Okay.
And if they disguise it a little bit, the other team's flat-footed, they'll never get the ball.
All right, so that dad was pretty much right, though. You want to pass,
Yeah.
use all 3 passes
You
on the
do.
side. And for those of you who don't know volleyball, when the ball comes over the net, you get to hit it essentially 3 times, 2 passes, and then the ball has to go over. If you get it the 4th time, you've lost the point. So it's a fun sport to watch too. Like I said, my niece is playing in Danvers, and it's a fast-moving game. Sometimes my one complaint about volleyball, you might actually run into this as a high school coach. The officials need to be a little more demonstrative. Sometimes they'll make a carry call or something, and you'll think the other teams want a point, and then wait, the score is wrong. No, come on, the officials need to get a little more involved.
Well,
here.
they are all hand signals and they are all subtle, but if you know the game, you know what they're saying.
Okay.
Yeah. But you're right. You might think he's saying point, but he's saying lift.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if I went every day, I'd learn these subtleties. But subtle hand signals are not my thing here for a new sport.
Yeah.
And the officials do a great job. I'm just kidding with you, but maybe you'll find they don't do a great job some days.
No, never argue with an official. That's not productive.
See, that's the kind of comment from a coach that you get in late August. Now I will talk to you mid-October, and we'll see how that comment stands up. But no, that's too funny. So the officiating is 2 officials at the high school level. Is that?
I believe so.
Yeah,
I mean, I would imagine that there's always a down ref and an up ref.
Yep.
And I think in tournament play at the end of the season, they'll have refs calling the lines also. But I think for the regular season, it's just students at the home team.
Yep. Oh, you're right.
And they'll stand in the corners and they'll call the ins and the outs.
Okay. So that's good. And there's a best of 3, 20 to 21, I think is the format, right? Best of 3.
25.
Games? 25.
Rally scoring. Yeah.
Rally scoring, and so you don't have to score on your serve, which is different.
Well, it used to be a side out, and then you'd have to score when you serve. Now everything counts. So serving is very important.
Yeah.
It's almost if you have a good defense, you should be giving the other team a ball to play with.
Yeah.
Because trying to get too aggressive with the serve and serving it out, you just lost the point.
Yeah.
Whereas if you give them the ball, now they have to do something to get it back to you.
Yeah.
So serving's much more critical to get it in.
That's as far in something like tennis. Using the comparison earlier, you can if you have a big server, especially at the high school level, you can have somebody just stealing game after game with their serve.
Right.
I used to play tennis as well, and I remember there were some servers in our league, and it was, you would just try to hold your serve, and maybe you can get lucky and get a break, and that's how you'd possibly win a match. But in volleyball, that's not necessarily the case. It's not so much of a weapon.
That can really, has just a fantastic, 90-mile-an-hour jump serve or something like that. But at the high school level, maybe 1 or 2 players in the whole league you'll see that has an overpowering serve where they're rattling off 8 points. But they're still getting their serves in.
Yes. Yes.
So the key is in.
Do you have one of those on your team? Do you know yet?
I don't know yet. I have to find out.
So this is going to be interesting because a lot of the new coaches we have, like I was talking to the new, who did we have on last time? Who was it?
The football coach.
Yeah, who do we have? We had Smolsky from Newburyport. He's still fairly new. Who am I missing? Recent days.
That's for do baseball.
Ryan McCarthy. Ryan McCarthy, new Triton football coach. Haha, dug it out. Thank you. You helped. But Ryan McCarthy is the new Triton football coach. Do you know him?
I'll probably meet him tonight. We have a meeting tonight with all the coaches.
Oh, that'll be fun. He's a good guy. And don't tell him that I forgot what order he was on the show. That was just the last show, I think. But Coach Ryan McCarthy, but he has it easier. He was an assistant coach on the football team, and he coaches baseball, so he's been a part of it. You're coming in kind of cold. You don't know the kids, you don't know the coaches. Luckily, you like your AD, so that's a good start, Sean McGinnis. But that's going to be a little different, huh? You up for the challenge? You must be adventurous here.
I wasn't joking when I said dream job. When I was assistant coach at Gordon College, I got married, had a couple of kids, and eventually I tapered off my activities there and going down to help out. But I always wanted to be a volleyball coach, and I was a letter carrier. So I carried mail for 30 years and did some dispute resolution for the post office over that time too, over like the last 10.
No wonder why you won't argue with officials.
But so I've got a mediation certificate too, so I've got a little background in how to get along with people. But my dream job was always to be a volleyball coach, and I said when I retire, I'm going to try and get a coaching job. And I saw someone at a retirement dinner. It wasn't mine. It was another person, a Pentucket teacher, and I used to coach with her at Gordon. And she said, Triton's looking for a coach.
Wow.
So I called up and sent a resume in and got hired.
And here you are.
And here I am.
Wow, very cool. So just like that. What's the, I was amazed actually, in talking with Ryan actually, he gave me a good idea of the football process with hiring. There's like more to it than I thought. Did you find that to be a fairly easy process? Like he had to go in front of a board. There was a parent there. Is that just a football thing because of the size of the program?
I don't know. I spoke to the principal. I spoke to Sean McGinnis, the
Separately?
athletic director. I spoke to the JV coach, Karen Kristen, and that was pretty much it.
Wow,
But,
okay.
yeah.
So not as strenuous a process, which is good. I couldn't believe some of the stuff that they were saying. Of course, football coaches have to go through all the protocols with head injuries and certificates and all that stuff.
I just did all those, yeah.
You have to do those
yeah.
too for
Oh, yeah.
volleyball. Wow.
I actually overdid it because I took a CDC concussion class, and then I took another one that was really the one they wanted me to take. That was I took 2 concussion courses, got certificates in both, and then I took a pediatric to adult CPR and AED class.
Wow.
I got a certificate in that. So
No kidding.
yeah.
Well,
Got a little education on the
How
way
about
last month.
that? I guess better safe than sorry. Are concussions an issue at the? Have you ever seen?
They require it for all their coaches at Triton. They all take the concussion protocol classes and the CPR and the AED also, so they can use a defibrillator and
I figured they do, but yeah, I mean, volleyball is not. It's not quite like soccer, even where you have too many. I mean, you have
I've seen someone get paneled with like a 100-mile-an-hour hit.
actual ball. Yeah,
Just caught it right in the face, and
Yeah.
you wonder, right? I
Yeah.
mean, at that time, you just kind of shake it off and play.
Yeah.
But maybe that would have been a good time to sit that individual out.
yeah. Times have changed, right?
Yeah.
When I was playing sports, used to be you get your bell rung, and that's like a no saying anymore. No such thing as that.
No,
come
it's all the real deal. Very serious.
You come off the field and get checked out. All right, well, we're flying here. Let's take our first little break here. We got Bob Van Etten. He's the new head volleyball coach at Triton. And, we covered a lot of ground in that first segment. We went flying safety to the volleyball court, so very good. Any update here on our rapper here, whose name I keep forgetting? What was it again? Post Malone. I'm going to get that by the time we're done here. Post Malone. I did watch his performance with Aerosmith last night because, the whole Boston Van Flavor thing there. It happened to be on the news, and it seemed like a fun little performance there. Aerosmith still going. Those guys are, I think, well into their 70s. I can't remember. Steven Tyler turned 70 at some time in recent years, I believe. He might be right on 70, actually. I'm not sure. I'll double check that, too. We'll have an update on Post Malone and tell you how old Steven Tyler is when we get back here. It's Afternoon Drive on Joppa Radio. We're joined by Coach Bob Van Etten, the new volleyball coach over at Triton. Much more with him when we get back as well. Follow us at Joppa Afternoons. Keep it here. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back here to Afternoon Drive on Joppa Radio. My name is Drew Moholland. Hope you're all having a good Tuesday afternoon. Radio producer here, Tyler Neufeld, has completely shut the shade, so I really can't give you a weather update. It's no, it's a great studio lighting, Tyler. But yeah, I have no view anymore. My view is gone. Go ahead, check the weather. Cloudy. It's cloudy. There you go. And the shades are now shut again. Thank you, sir. But I hope you're all having a good day out there. We are joined by Bob Van Etten. He is the new volleyball coach over at Triton and getting ready for the season. Coach, when do you guys actually start?
Tryouts start August 23rd.
August 23rd. Today is the 21st. So this week?
Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Wow. Jumping right into it.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then we make cuts after the last tryout on Sunday.
Are you pretty sure you're going to have to make cuts? Are you going to get a lot of numbers? Or?
As right now, we still have room.
Wow, okay.
There's not quite a full 24. I think there's 20 signed up.
So that's JV and a varsity? Is that what that would make
Yeah,
up?
we need 24 to carry both, so,
Oh,
yeah,
so hopefully
come on
you can
down.
get there, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. Let's make that happen. Actually, let's talk about that for a second, too, because I definitely realized it once I moved on and got older and, adult life, you kind of look back and say, no coach ever likes to make a cut. I've talked with every coach pretty much, and I don't think parents realize that sometimes. And hopefully you don't have to. Well, hopefully it is a good thing if you're having to make cuts because it means your program is big. But how tough is that? Can you? I know you haven't had to do that at the high school level, but that's going to be a miserable.
Yeah,
experience,
I was going to say I haven't done it at the high school level. I've done it at the Bay State games, and it's never easy. They came out. They thought they were going to make the team, and you just got to tell them that. Thank you for trying out, but you didn't make the team.
Especially,
but please try out again next year. That's usually the caveat that I throw in there. And to come to the clinics. I'm going to be running clinics mid-season and next summer.
Oh, good.
So come to the clinics, learn more, get better, and try out again next year.
All right. That's good advice. Yeah, it's just because I think about it. I guess it's the Michael Jordan rule, cut from the freshman varsity for freshman team. I think it got cut from, but yeah, and you can get better over these high school years too. People grow.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So hopefully you'll look for that. But yeah, that's never a fun experience. I always laugh when parents get all upset with coaches and stuff about thinking their kid was the best.
As hard as it is, though, I'd still rather have 50 kids than 18.
Oh, yeah, program-wise, certainly, yeah. And hopefully you do. Like I said, I know in Newburyport it exploded. I bet you might have some last-day walk-ups here, too.
Oh, I'm sure I will.
Yeah. What's the initial list? Is that just a list that you were trying to get a feel for people?
last year they had 30-some-odd tryouts, so I'm expecting it'll be similar to last year.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. What's the how much of a difference does a volleyball coach make? Are there a bunch of different styles of play, formations?
If you're asking me, I'm going to say light years.
Game changer, yes.
Game changer, yes.
Yes.
I expect to be a game changer.
Very good. I like that.
Yeah.
What's your? I guess for somebody who's I don't know the intricacies of the game. So are you is it going to be like an aggressive style of play?
Well, for example, most people react to the ball.
Yes.
But you should be looking at the ball every time it's struck and assuming it's coming to you. So you know how Dustin Pedroia does his little hop at every pitch
I do.
to get his feet moving?
Yep.
I tell every player, every single time that ball's touched, you take 2 steps and you're on the balls of your feet. Because if my teammate is leaking out and going to make a mistake and the ball's going out of bounds, I'm already 10 feet out of bounds before he hits the ball because I know where he's leaking out and I know where he's going because I'm looking at his body.
A little anticipation.
So anticipation makes a huge difference, especially at the high school level. You see a lot of flat feet out there waiting for the ball to be struck.
Yeah.
And so you want to be on the balls of your feet, taking 2 steps every single time the ball's touched. If you have a great serve, I've seen this happen numerous times, it goes over the net, the other team dives for it, just barely gets it, and they send it right back over. It hits the floor because nobody's expecting it.
Yeah.
They're waiting for the 3 hits.
Yeah.
Right? But you got to look for that. You got to be ready for it. You got to be anticipating it. And just that alone can that and getting your serve in can all of a sudden add 7 points to your game.
Yeah.
So the game you're losing 25-21, you're winning 25-23.
So I can already see you're an attention to detail guy. No free points were given away at Triton this year.
No.
Every point matters.
Yes.
All right, very good.
I'm not going to give away all the secrets, but there's one.
That's a safe one. All right, very good. What do you hope? Who knows what kind of talent you're actually gonna have out there? You might have a really great raw group that you can really coach, or maybe you're ready for a first year rebuilding year. You probably don't even know the answer to that at the moment. Maybe you have an idea.
I'm not concerned because I think most kids that play sports are athletic.
Yeah.
And if you're athletic, in an afternoon I can teach you to play volleyball. So
Love that.
I've got weeks to teach them. So I think I'm all set.
Plenty of time. Very good. And what are those first early practices like on the volleyball front? You got the football guys running in the summer heat. What's the volleyball kids doing? Is conditioning a big part of it?
I'm not a big conditioning person because when you learn technique, the conditioning comes, and most players like to play.
Yep.
And
You just won Tyler and I over right now.
For example, if you watch a lot of high school kids spiking a ball, they'll start walking in before the ball's set, which is wrong.
Yeah.
And then they'll jump and they'll try and hit it, or the set went behind them and then they can't, and they'll free ball it over.
Yeah.
And what you should do is nail your feet to the ground, get really low. The first step is as fast as you can go. The second step is twice as fast as the first. The third step, you're decelerating. The fourth step comes even with it. And there's no bounding. You don't go up and down, you go forward. So all that speed carrying forward generates into vertical. And then you press in and you jump. And you saw where the ball went because you waited. And you're going to the ball, and you got speed, and you're going to get vertical, and you're going to hit it.
Simple as that.
And if the setter comes off the net, real far off the net, you come off even further. So instead of waiting at the 10-foot line, you're back at the 16-foot line.
Okay.
And then you give the setter room, because if the setter's trying to set from 12 feet off the net to you on the net, you're going to be trying to hit a ball that's falling away from you, and that doesn't work.
Yeah.
So all little things, but it's things that not everybody learns. And yeah, I've been playing for 45 years.
Yeah.
So I have the advantage of that knowledge and be able to give it to someone that's just starting out.
How long before, I mean, you got to, at some point, you're going to have that kid who is just not listening to you right off the bat and is making the same mistake over and over again. How long until you give them, I've been doing this for 45 years. The reason why that's not working, I'm telling you, you're going to have to listen to me.
I think, first off, I haven't had that issue.
Yeah.
At the college level, everybody did
High
listen to
school
me.
kids are younger,
They
though.
might not listen,
Little
but I think
immaturity there.
I think when you don't listen and you don't perform, you don't play. And then
yes.
you kind of you watch what other kids are doing, and that they're drinking the Kool-Aid and they're getting playing time, and maybe that's enough incentive. I don't know.
Yes.
But yeah.
I see. So there's a don't listen, don't play correlation.
No, not don't listen, don't play, but if you don't listen and you don't perform, then you don't play.
Yes.
Yeah, don't listen. If you can play and you got earphones in, well, that's fine.
If you got your own way and it works, you're cool with it.
Yeah.
All right. Very good. Very good. It seems like you got the management of people thing down, so that's a good thing. That seems to be very optimistic for Triton's perspective. Are you ready for the rivalries in this league? Because there's a lot of I don't know what it is about this area, but it seems like every team, in every sport too, there's like a different really big rivalry. Triton Newburyport is always going to be big, and I guess that's maybe the most common one, but I don't know, the Amesburys of the world seem to be always fighting. Everybody wants to beat Masco because Masco always has great programs for everything.
Right.
You ready for some of these real big rivalries?
Totally ready, but to be honest, I'll be totally up for it and into it, just like everybody else on the team. But for me, it really comes down to each individual hit of the ball.
Yeah.
Not even every point, just every individual hit.
Yeah.
So it really doesn't matter who we're playing.
Is there how about from a coaching perspective, actually, X's and O's, is there a tactical, are there adjustments that you can make seeing what another team's doing?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
We were at Gordon College, we were in the NCAA tournament, or maybe it was ECAC. I can't remember the year, but we were in the NCAAs a few times, but I think it was an ECAC tournament. And we were the last ranked team this year, just by chance. We were 8th, and we had to play the #1 team first time out of the gate. Mm-hmm. And we lost the first two games of the set. It was a five-game set. Yeah. And the coach said, "What can we do different?" I said, "Coach, they got the best defense I've seen all year long." I said, "The only way we can beat them is to put Julie in." She said, "Julie can't play defense." I said, "No, but she cranks the ball." And she said, "But we'll run." Back in this time, you could only get 12 substitutions. There was no liberos. So if we put Julie in, we knew she was playing the whole way around because our two middles had to be sub 4.
Yep.
So I just said, just let her go, and we'll live and die with it. We won the next game.
Wow.
Because we overpowered them with offense, because everybody on the team could crank. And, we took that 1 weak link we had out and filled it. And then the next game, we were up like 4 points midway through the game, and then their best server ran off like 8 points, and the girls all got nervous and they lost. But at least we put a little scare into them.
Wow,
Yeah,
very, well that's cool. So there's a little tip of the cap to the assistant coach there. That brings up a question: do you have a coaching staff yet?
Myself and one other individual, yes, and the JV coach. I'm going to be coaching JV and varsity with the JV coach.
Oh, okay.
So
hands on the whole program there. That's good.
Right, and I hope there's another person that sounded like he had some interest. It's hopefully going to help out with the varsity team.
Okay.
So,
cool. Do you hope the like when I've got to, as I mentioned, my first-hand knowledge of the volleyball these days is going to see my niece play just last year, and I noticed that it seemed like the JV team was very close to the varsity team. I think they, if I remember correctly, they might. I don't know if they're allowed to hang on the bench, but if they weren't on the bench, they seemed to be right there, very loud, very supportive, screaming the whole time. But it seemed to be one big kind of cohesive group. Is that kind of the what you're looking for at Triton as well with your group?
Yeah, I'd love camaraderie and support and all that. I don't know what the technical, what's allowed and what's not allowed.
Yeah.
But yeah, if that's allowed, sure, go for it.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many. I don't know if you can actually have the kids on the bench. I'm sure that's probably not true.
I think they generally play before the varsity,
right,
and then the varsity plays immediately following. So
everybody's in the same.
I'm sure they can be there rooting close by.
Yeah. Well, very good, and it makes for a great atmosphere. I really enjoyed going to. Sometimes you go to a high school match in whatever sport, and sometimes it can be a little sleepy at times, depending on what sport it is. Usually, I find something to be interested in, but the volleyball is like it's intense. It's always moving. Not too many breaks. No pitching changes.
No, and you got points constantly happening. Yeah,
pretty fast moving games. I mean, if you come out and a team's asleep, you can blow them out of the building pretty quickly. There, you better be ready to play, right?
Right.
Better show up on time and ready to go. So that's interesting. And so you have 12 players on a team, you said?
Correct.
To dress, okay. And how many actually stand on the court? What, 5 and 1, so 6? 6. Okay.
6 at a time.
So you got 6 bench players, and you can sub. Would pretty much everybody on a varsity team get a chance to play, or not necessarily?
It depends.
Yeah.
It depends. It depends on how close they are in skill levels. But certainly, if you're winning a match by a large margin, you want to get everybody on the court.
Yeah, but right? I mean, but you could.
Or vice versa. If you're losing a match by a large margin in the last game, you'd want to get some people that don't always play some experience on the court.
But as far as like, if you have a big time player and it's a competitive match, it's perfectly reasonable to keep them out there for a whole match.
A lot of times it depends on skill level, but a lot of times your middles are big. And they're not always the quickest one to get down to the floor. Mm-hmm. So you might have a 6'2" middle that comes out in the back row, and a 5'2" defensive specialist comes in for that player.
Yep.
So, generally just about everybody would get a chance to play, I would think.
Do you have any, it would strike me that, and you mentioned that, that a volleyball player can be all, shapes and sizes really, but I imagine like maybe the center on the basketball team might be a good person to have at the net there for a volleyball team. Is there a basketball correlation?
You said center at
like
the
a center, like a tall.
Oh, a center.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
I'm sticking a big body.
Basketball players tend to hit the ball flat, but to teach a person to hit topspin is not hard at all. But there's a couple of things you need to do, but anybody that's got vertical is an asset.
Gotcha.
I would take any basketball player in a heartbeat. Yeah.
Winter sport, right? So there's the opportunity there. So another recruiting call there. And speaking of basketball, actually, you gave me very good advice. I've been struggling to remember Post Malone all day, and now you might realize that I have it. You gave me the Karl Malone played in the post. What a word trick there. Fantastic.
Well, it's the way I remember things.
There you go. Very good. He's a true teacher at heart. Do we have an update, Tyler?
Oh, there's
Post Malone has been circling.
4-hour video, but it's a bit of a minute ago. I can look at it.
We're trying to figure out. He had 2 blown tires in the air after his show with Aerosmith at the Video Music Awards last night. Post Malone, this rapper here, who's very popular, and they've been circling, dumping fuel, and they have to make an emergency landing. So we've been trying to watch that in real time here for you. Looks like it's still circling. All right, so it looks like it might not end here on during our time on this show. So keep watching the Twitter or whatever it is you do for your up to the second news these days. How about you? Is social networking coach? You doing any of that stuff? Any
social networking?
Yeah. So,
I'm trying to learn. I just got my first iPhone.
Oh, okay.
I'm that guy on the TV.
Old soul, huh?
Yes, it works. Why fix it? Why replace it? Right?
That's right.
Yeah.
You just got rid of the BlackBerry, did you?
I'm pretty bad. No, it was a slide Samsung.
Oh,
really old school.
That's even worse, Coach.
Yes. But I have an iPhone. I'm learning how to use it. I'm trying to get there.
That's good. Did you do that just because you're going to be around high school kids?
I did it for the coaching job.
Could not handle the kids getting on you, or you're going to use it for?
No, I think just for communication. I think I needed it. And I love the voice activated messaging. That's pretty cool.
That is good. Yes, this is going to be a whole new world for you. I think the smartphone. But I do find that a lot of the coaches are using Twitter these days, getting words out about matches. You might like the Twitter. It's good. You got yourself quick messages, 140 characters, right?
Okay.
Quick little things. Triton at Newburyport today.
There you go.
5 o'clock. Come
All
on
right.
down. Could use the support. There you go. I could do it for you. I could just tell you what to write. But yeah, it's nice. You get the whole Twitter. We are at Joppa Afternoons. Don't forget that, folks. At Joppa Afternoons on Twitter. I should check too if we have any. Sometimes we get the occasional question, and I'm bad at checking this. Sometimes let's go to the old thing here. I'll see before the show's over. But so with the final couple minutes here we have left, what are you most excited about as far as just starting this new coaching run at Triton? I know it's a great spot to be. You like your AD. Everything seems good so far. What's the thing that maybe we don't know that you're just really, really pumped up about?
Just as I said earlier, I've been waiting to do this for 15 years.
Yeah. What took you so long?
I've coached a lot of high school players individually, friends of mine.
Yeah.
That their kids wanted to play high school, never played before,
Yeah.
and coached them and they played. And I know that's what I'm good at. And I love the game. I've been playing for 45 years. I want to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm just excited to meet the team and just get going. Yeah.
You look too young to have been playing for 45 years. Start playing volleyball at
15.
5?
15.
15. All right. Well, we can pretty much put an age on it. Very good. So how do you stay in shape? You're great.
Walked 10 miles a day for 30 years.
Okay, there's the answer. Yeah. Okay.
I rode my bike across the United States.
Yeah.
Did a few things.
All right. So I was wondering if that's an odd question, but then you get an answer like that, and you know you're barking up the right tree. 10 miles a day for 30 years.
Yeah, as a mailman.
Wow. That's true. So you were jumping out of the truck and walking the route.
Yes.
I always thought that would be a pretty cool job.
It was a great job.
My mailman right now who does the same thing, will park and then kind of walk the whole route. Seems like the happiest guy in the world, in shape. It seems, I don't know, he just seems to be in a good place.
I was always hiking in the White Mountains, and I ran a lot, and I cycled a lot, and just outside. I love being outside.
And it is fascinating to me, by the way, how productive, how efficient the U.S. Postal Service is.
Have to be.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, if you ever notice the guy walking beside you with the clipboard, once a year you get time study. And they literally walk with you every step, and you better be showing 8 hours for your 8-hour route. Or else they'll add to the route.
I didn't know. I had no idea.
So you do have a full assignment. Everybody does.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have to do. So what are those qualifications? Give me that one more time. Every 8 hours you need to.
No, I'm just saying they will walk with you once a year to make sure you have an 8-hour assignment.
Oh,
and
okay.
if you don't, they'll
Gotcha.
add to the route.
Oh, okay.
And they expect you to walk 120 paces a minute, and
Do you have the person that goes?
And you got to be ready for delivery when you get to the mailbox, and boom. And
I see
turn
somebody
and go.
like you though. You're probably going at a faster pace than some of these people.
So I do more.
You got to be doing more work.
Yeah, some of the guys would argue with that. They'd probably say I did less. But there's a lot of fast mailmen. Yeah.
I mean, it does not surprise me.
Don't ever think your mailman's not being paid properly, because he's out there. He's out there in the rain, snow. It doesn't matter what the weather's doing. We go out and deliver. I've been out in hurricanes. They'll literally pull you from the route because they're like, you got to have 3 hours to get home now, so you got to come in. So, but yeah, we go out and everything.
It's you learn something new every day. That's fantastic. You're right though. I remember I lived in Hudson for a few years out in Central Mass, and one of those big snowstorms a couple winters ago, we were the jackpot. It was ridiculous amounts of snow. I'm chopping through ice in the driveway, and next thing I know, I look up and there's the mailman trucking through. I'm like, I'll come to you. He goes, I'm coming to you. Don't worry about it. You're good. And I'm like, what a guy. What an effort.
Well, technically, if there's not a clear path, you don't have to deliver. But I always, first day, I threw everybody a bone. I put the sorels on, strapped the pants around them, with gaiters, and just you can go through everything.
How about that? Yeah. Well, I think he respected the fact that I was working on it at the time. But they do
good
a great job. I bet it is. And you're a big hiker too. You said.
Oh, love it.
You're gonna do a team hike, find a mountain.
Yes.
I love that idea.
That sounds perfect.
That sounds perfect. There you go. Take a picture, put it on Twitter.
There you go.
And then I can see that.
Hashtag volleyball team?
Hashtag Triton volleyball is probably better.
Okay.
Yes,
All
Triton
right.
volleyball. You want to get Triton in there.
All right.
And we're going to get you some new Triton swag, too. And Sean McGinnis, next time he's on the show, I want to see full Triton gear the ones we're in season. Well, Coach, that was a pleasure. Why don't we give you one last chance to tell the community to come on out and watch some Triton volleyball this year, and because it's going to be fun to watch.
Absolutely. Everybody come on out, watch us. We're going to show you some things this year. And anybody who's thinking about trying out, don't think about it, try out.
There you go. Seems like you got yourself a fun coach with a great background. So there you go. For any kids that are thinking about being lazy in the fall, come play some volleyball instead, right?
And Drew, thank you for having me on today. I appreciate it.
Really appreciate it. Quick and painless, right?
Quick and
It
painless.
flies by. I always say it's the fastest hour in radio, but very good. So again, that's Coach Bob Van Etten. He's the new head volleyball coach over at Triton. Coach, we wish you all the best this year. Hopefully you get off to a good start, and we'll be watching. We'll have you on again once you're in season, all right?
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, very good. We'll come back and finish strong here on Afternoon Drive. Final couple minutes when we get back. My name is Drew Moholland. Keep it here. All right, welcome back to Afternoon Drive here on Joppa Radio. What a good guest that was there, Tyler Neufeld. We're bringing producer Tyler in here like we like to do at the end of the show so many times. He was a great guy, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was great. Lovely.
Yeah, good. That's my first time meeting Coach Bob Van Etten. So I think Triton Volleyball is in very good hands this year, and it seems like one of those coaches that you just want to like to play for, and want to play for, and want to win for.
Yeah, he seems like a very sincere guy that is very passionate. What he said, 45 years of playing
Yes.
for it. Like that's
It's a lot of years.
someone that wants to be there.
And you can tell he knows the game too. So I always like those coaches who are not just kind of there to punch in the ticket. They know what they're doing and can teach you a thing or two.
Exactly. Yeah, he's got a passion for it, and he seems like he knows what he's doing.
That's the case with most coaches, by the way. But there is the occasional time when a coach is just there because nobody else would do it.
Yeah, they're
right?
just kind of showing up.
But yeah, we covered mail carrying.
Mm-hmm.
We covered pilots. And
covered
emergency
pilots.
landing.
Mhm.
So it was one of those guests that just kind of took you in different directions. It was very good.
Yeah,
I
all
enjoyed
over the
that.
place.
We were talking about pilots because we've mentioned Post Malone,
You got
which
it.
I got it now. He helped me out with the word
did.
association. Post Malone is circling right now in the air, and by the time the show's over, he will have been landed, hopefully all safely and everything. So keep an eye on that post-show here, Post Malone. But anyways, yeah, they're dumping fuel. He has to make an emergency landing because after his show at the VMAs last night with Aerosmith, Post Malone's plane blew at least one tire, maybe two.
I think he said 2.
So you've been reading up on it. Good job, Tyler.
Just a bit.
So there's 2 tires blown. So they're dumping fuel before the emergency landing. I'm a little not sure about this Post Malone. Who is he? What does he do? Straight rapper?
He's a rapper. I think.
Is he one of those combo guys? Does he
I mean, I just know his song "Celebration."
Celebration?
It's a very.
Do I know that song? Is it a big radio hit these days?
It was big in like 2016, I think. He has a new one with 21 Savage, but I forget the name of it.
Okay. So a lot of collaborations.
I think so.
Yeah.
He had no, wait, that's someone else. I was gonna say no.
Tyler's a big music guy. That's why I bring him in for these things.
Yeah, I don't really listen to a lot of Post Malone, but I just know like he's big.
Tattoos on his face.
Tattoos on his face.
You said those are becoming bigger.
They're becoming pretty big, or maybe not pretty big, but more common. Do you know what SoundCloud is?
Do I know what SoundCloud is?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So like how there's a lot of SoundCloud rappers, like a lot of people that
Wait,
like,
maybe I know. I know it's the SoundCloud recording device. Is that not what we're talking about?
It's like the platform.
Okay.
Like you and I, we could put this on SoundCloud.
Yes.
if we
Okay.
wanted.
Yeah, we're talking about the same thing. Okay. Yep. So I didn't know what that is.
So a lot of SoundCloud is like really big for a lot of hip hop. And
Put it on and get discovered, sort of thing.
yeah, and like, do you know Bandcamp as well? It's kind of like it's not a foil to
I don't.
it, but Bandcamp's kind of similar, except you can release like an album or an EP or a single, and it follows the pay what you want format.
Okay.
So I could put like my album up there, and you can either stream it for free or you could buy it and get a download.
Oh, that's cool.
Um,
And he's big on SoundCloud.
he's big on SoundCloud, and Bandcamp's usually bigger for a lot of like indie music. Like
Gotcha.
indie, and indie's like such a relative. You know what I mean? Though.
Yeah. I got you. Yeah.
But a lot of SoundCloud rappers right now, at least there's some that they get like a lot of facial tattoos, or they just have some. I wouldn't say they get a lot, but there's just an affinity for it. Like
Interesting.
who's the guy that just got murdered? XXX.
Yeah,
Tentacion.
yep.
He had some. I think 6ix9ine. Yeah, he was big on SoundCloud. He still is, I think.
Hmm.
He has tattoos. He's got the guy with the rainbow teeth.
I would think that would hurt really bad to get a face tattoo.
Some people get eye tattoos as well.
Oh, yep. Okay.
I haven't seen a rapper with one yet, but
That's making me cringe there, Tyler. I think we're gonna have to end the show on the tattoo note. But very good. Well, thank you for the Post Malone knowledge. I appreciate it. We're gonna be off Thursday, folks. So sorry about that, Tyler. I know I have a busy week, and I have some stuff going on that I cannot make the show. I hate doing that to you folks, but we'll be back Tuesday. Much more afternoon drive to come next week on Tuesday, and the fall sports will be off and running. So we look forward to see you again then. Big thanks, Tyler Neufeld. Appreciate it. Great job radio producing. David Kramer on the TV side. Again, we will see you next week. Big thanks to Coach Bob Van Etten of Triton. He was a great guest. We'll see you next week, folks. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye now. Afternoon Drive with Drew Moholland.